Hey everyone, welcome back to another edition of Timber and Stone with JPT. I am JPT, and we are playing beta version 0.9b. So welcome. This is a large map we are looking at, largely made of water, it looks like, but hey, we'll take it. A lot of things have changed since 0.5b. This will be actually the last release, I believe, before we go full-blown release. So I am playing the beta. I've had an opportunity to play, a couple other versions of the game, but haven't been able to talk about that stuff until now. So we are going to select a location, and as you can see, this is brand new. There's some new stuff. Typically, you would just get this stuff, but here now we have the ability to see minerals, which we have tin, copper, iron, and coal. Those are things you're going to run into. As you can see, they're pretty frequent or common, so I like that. Boar, sheep, chicken, and fish. 3 out of 4 are abundant. That ain't bad. So we're going to go with that. Fishing is something that I have taken to heart with some other playthroughs that I've been playing. So we're going to do a fresh start. We're going to leave behind the other beta, and we're going to start fresh, even though I think you can migrate your old beta files over to the new ones. But I don't know. I don't know if that is... I don't know if I would do that, so I'm going to just go ahead and start brand new. We'll confirm the spot there. It takes a couple seconds for it to figure itself out. It's going to render sort of the area there. And I tell you what, my computer loves stalling out there. I don't know if that's just my computer or if that is the game itself, but here we are on a very, very large map, as you can see here. I like to stick to the coast. I got plenty of mineral deposits there, as I like to call them. And one thing that I will tell you that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to build pretty close to the edge of the map. And the reason for that is there are now roads as well as what they call haul designations. One thing you also want to be kind of careful of is that from what I read, some of the enemies will sort of spawn on corners of maps. I don't know if they truly mean like this corner way over here, because that would be water and they wouldn't be able to spawn very well. But one thing you want to do is you do want to build close to the edge, because you're going to want to build a road to the edge into what is now called your town hall, and we will get to that during this playthrough. This will probably be a longer video. I'm going to actually try to keep this pretty short. Give me 1 second. I'm going to turn on my timer. Okay, might have noticed a little jump there, but yeah, I have to start that timer, otherwise I get long-winded and it's just insane. So again, this is the same thing as usual. If you're watching this from the very beginning, you have to select a location in which your 6 civilians will get plopped down, and I'm going to do mine, let's see, I will probably do mine right here. I'm most likely going to have a road that just comes down, have a town hall here, and probably start building ourselves a wall to wall off a good chunk of this area here, and probably build ourselves a dock. That's at least that's the idea. So let's go ahead and just plop down here. You can choose a position, or you can go back. We are pretty confident with that. One thing that I have yet to do is even mess with this here. Let's go ahead and crank down the music, change that, and sound effects will probably keep shortly there behind. I might adjust these a little bit more, but these are the options, gameplay options. Pause the game when the enemies are sighted. You definitely want to turn that on so you can prepare yourself. Pause the game on new unit migration. That's another good one. And unit death. You will want to keep those to where it pauses the game so you can prepare yourself for awful things, but maybe good things. You never know. So let's go ahead and reduce this down, and I will build this up a little bit because we'll get some stuff here. I'm going to go ahead and pause the game. I like pausing the game just to, get things started. If you've seen me do this before, I like to look at the names and perhaps rename my guys, see what other attributes they're playing with. So we've got Raph the farmer, Thomas the blacksmith, Abel the builder, Per Christian Brostad, that's going to get changed, Ferdinand the miner, I like that, and Brand the woodchopper. I don't know, I see a little bit of irony there. I'm going to go ahead and change the keys a little bit. Brackets are normally to, disregard changes, controls, to get sort of left bracket, right bracket. I think they're a little too far away for my taste. I like to change them to Z and X. That way they're sort of right underneath the WSAD keys for you Minecraft players. That will come in handy. I think. Oop, and you know what? I changed the wrong one. That's W. Oops. I'm glad I noticed that. Otherwise, I'd have been very confused. Backwards is X. So, yeah, there we go. That's way better. That is way better. Double check things here. I haven't been able to get this depth level thing to work in the last couple of builds, so perhaps that will come in handy there. So let's go ahead and see what these guys are all about. So we've got Thomas. He is a blacksmith. He's also a pretty decent forager, so that might come in handy. We'll tab ourselves out of that menu. Go to our next guy here, Ferdinand, the miner. He is a good engineer, which again will come in handy later on. But mining is really important early on. So is wood chopping. So Brand, the wood chopper, he is a very good stonemason. So excellent. I like that. I like to just keep these two kind of close together because you can quit being a wood chopper, switch over to stonemason. But one thing you'll notice is that morale will go down if you switch professions. And it does tell you that. It says basically complete loss of the current profession's experience and reduced morale. So this morale will go down in this level area, gone. So if you're really close to doing it, just finish it off, get to the next level, and move on. You also notice fatigue here. Fatigue and sleep are now factors in the game, and we will definitely see that in action. Raph, the farmer, kind of like that, like Raphael. Farmer, also a good fisherman. Perfect. Not necessarily perfect, but if we really get desperate, we can make him also a fisherman. And I like to keep a farmer and a fisherman. That way we just keep cranking out the food because that comes in handy. I usually sort of get rid of the forager, but at times I've had a farmer, forager, and a fisherman. So it's not too far away. Looking through the tree there, we see, let's just go ahead and change this to Christian. Confirm that. He is a good forager as well as a fisherman. So there you go. Perfect. We will make him forage first. And then we've got Abel, our builder, who will probably end up becoming something else early on, probably the stonemason, because we probably won't be building things off. So let me go ahead and just get the morale boost or bump reduction there. Let's just go ahead and get that out of the way. Autonomy, automatically re-equip the best quality hammer. I'm just going to fly through this stuff. I will do the sleep thing for you here in a second, though. Notifications, I don't need to know if he... let's go ahead and keep those on. Some of the notifications I find really annoying. Some of the others I don't. Automatically equipped. Let's see. I wish it would stop moving around like that. There we go. That tree was getting a little annoying. Automatically re-equip. Oh, we already did that. I'm just going to do these sort of around the circle. I don't know why it doesn't do that early on. Display bow range. Then it comes in handy. I turn all these on initially, but you can have them do them just randomly. Sometimes it works out for you. Preferences. Automatically re-equip. Automatically re-equip. And this independently chop the nearest trees. That, if you want to keep trees around your area, if you want to say keep these trees here, you may not want to turn that on. So I will go ahead and early on tell him exactly what trees I want to cut down, because sometimes they will just randomly go cut down trees that you may have wanted. So that is not fun at all. So it looks like, okay, we're all good to go. But I will show you the sleep thing. So each person has their own sleep schedule. So you have two options: sleep anonymously based on fatigue. That will basically, when their fatigue gets like really high, they'll just fall asleep. And sometimes you can build beds, but a lot of times they just fall asleep right wherever they're doing something. And that is kind of annoying, but it is also hilarious at the same time. You can also do scheduled sleep. And you can see here, up here, we've got morning. So you could actually have them sleep during the day. You could have night shifts. Eventually, when I'm playing, I like to have all of my foragers, my wood choppers and stuff. I actually like them sleeping during the day. So this guy is a miner. I'm not necessarily worried about him mining in all hours of the night. I am worried about my foragers. And eventually I will build them beds first. So I will build my forager and my wood chopper beds first. If we get to that point, I will be honest, I've never been able to build a bed because I've never had the resources. So that is going to be one of my goals. A lot of people set it to evening, night, midnight, and late night for their sleeping. I think I can get away with night, midnight, and late night and get them to sleep. Again, my My idea is that these guys will sleep at night, and I will set these other guys to sleep during a portion of the day so that I can actually build closer to home where the fires are. And it seems to work so far in my other playthroughs that you haven't seen, obviously. So let's go ahead and schedule, again, the sleep on these. Miner we'll keep for now, stonemason, blacksmith, and farmer. What is this blacksmith? What else does he do? Anything? Let's go ahead and set him to be... I don't know if I want him to be... what else? Were you anywhere near a carpenter? No. So we may actually have to make one of these guys a carpenter to start things off. But brand, I'm going to go ahead and unpause this. You can right click on trees and say like, hey, I don't want this tree, I don't want this tree. I actually kind of like the way these trees are close. Sometimes I don't, but I actually like that. I don't like how these trees are close, so you can right click on that tree and he will march over there and take care of that tree. I'm also going to get rid of that one, and it tells you if it's a full grown tree or not. I like these trees around here. Again, sometimes I'm just like, get rid of that tree. So I will right click on that tree, get rid of it. I think it's usually supposed to become red, but that does not seem to be the case. If I right click and hold, I can rotate the camera. Let's see, let's get rid of that little guy there. Look at that little dude. As you can see, there's plenty of boars around. Go ahead and chop down that tree and that tree and that tree. Okay. So he's going to be working on chopping those trees. Our other guy, he's just taken off. Let's go ahead and give him a bow, and he will go ahead and, again, we'll see this big arrow here. If he gets anywhere near that boar, he's going to go ahead and kill it, but he's also foraging berries for now, which is totally fun. Jumping back, and you can domesticate these guys. There's another profession called the herder, and we may get to that. I'm not a super fan of those just yet, but it works. So let's see here. Let's get to the edge of the map. It's good to go ahead and nope, halt. You just need to stay around the fire. So go back. Nope. Yep. Go ahead and just hang out there. One of the things I like to do, I like to go ahead and build my road right away. So here you can see when you do that, it shows it in red, the trees and stuff. Let's go ahead and build a road. I like building a road that is 3 wide. So if you click, let go, and sort of drag it out, the longest you can build is 50. And let's see here, 3 by 30. So this is your road. This is where basically migrants and traders, which is brand new, not like traitors, but traders, people that will come and trade goods. That's the road they will take. And as they come down the road and stuff, this will wear it down and make it kind of cool and muddy and stuff. Another thing you're going to want to take care of right away is to build a hall. And essentially what this means is that this is where the traders and migrants will come and meet you. And there is a new profession called the trader. And that is the person in your group that will essentially meet up and be like, hey, I've got this stuff. Do you want my stuff? Etc., etc. One thing you want to do is I'm designating the hall area. This is the area that the guys will come to. And you want to build your road into that just a little bit. There will be a door here, but you have to build your road into it just a little bit in order for them to actually come into your hall. You have to have them overlap, otherwise it will not work. Trust me, it will not work. Got it? Okay, cool. Just want to be very very adamant about that. Let's go ahead and get this miner going. We'll go ahead and get these top areas here taken care of. Go ahead and have him wipe out any upper blocks there, and also any lower blocks by doing this. This will keep him busy for a long time. Let's see, let's look over here and make sure that he's got everything he needs. Yep, we'll go ahead and get rid of those. And that dude right there. And you just simply get rid of him by clicking on him. So that's going to keep him busy for a long time, like I said. One thing, if you don't like these little stumps, you can right click on them and remove the stump, and it will highlight them in red. You can kind of follow your guy around and he'll do it. He's way up here now, but that's fine. Alright, this tree is getting in the way, so guess what? Chop down that tree. I don't want to see it anymore. It's kind of annoying. So let's see here. As we get our stone, we will want to keep track of it. So I'm going to keep track of dirt, raw stone, wood logs, food, and as you can tell, I'm just clicking on that. Sand might be new. I don't know if I've ever seen that one before. I also like to keep track of wheat because animals will eat your wheat. We do have wheat seed, turnip seed, and flax seed, which is awesome. Let's see. Also, I like to keep track of wood planks. 1 and 2, these are slightly different colors, but don't let it fool you. They're not that different. Cobblestone I like to keep track of, and shingles because I do use those. Crafting I like to keep track of. Ooh, it might be auto-saving. Yep, little stall there. I like to keep track of rope, and it started us off with 2 rope. That's awesome. I love that. Okay, sweet. And another thing you can build are torches, and you can equip those into individual people's hands, which is very, very handy. I keep track of stone hammers, stone axes, stone pickaxes, and stone hoes. Don't keep track of fishing poles because they tend to last pretty long. I also don't keep track of weapons right now or armor. It's nothing I worry about that much. So he is our blacksmith. I think we need to use our stonemason, and what we will do here is that I know we need a masonry bench. We'll go ahead and hit the spacebar to rotate it. I like to keep them on the back side of my places here, so I will click there and he will go over and build that. It requires 4 raw stone and 4 wood logs, which we have plenty of. Another thing I will do is I will build a stone forge because our guy there needs a place to be able to build. Go ahead and rotate a little bit and put that right there, and he will go over and build that stone forge. Alright, so Abel is able and ready to build us some cobblestone. So that is under building. Click on cobblestone, and here you can add stuff to queue. You can add 1, 5, or 20 depending on the amount crafted. If this is 2 crafted and you add 5, it'll do 10. So I will build 20 just to start off. That will be our foundation for our hall. It's usually where I keep my beds. So once you get this going, you want to right click on it and say, hey, what's your fuel source? We don't have any coal right now, so we will want to go ahead and just use wood. And there you can see it fires it up. Alright, pickaxe is broken, wishes to equip a pickaxe, but there are none available, which is fine because that is something that we can take care of under tools. So we have no pickaxes, but you know what? Stone axe, pickaxe there. Let's go ahead and add 5 of those. You're just going to want to, get those going. And here we've got our guy, Thomas, taking care of those. Another thing I want to take care of is I want to build a stone anvil. Rotate it, click it there, and also a water barrel. The earlier you can build a loom, the better. Let's see, we've got plenty of materials to get there. We need 4 rope, so we've got 2 so far. A tailor, I believe, is the only person that will build you your loom too. Yep. And so you got to find somebody that is a good tailor to start off, and I don't know if we've got one of those. So that is really, really annoying in the early beginnings because the failure rate is pretty high. But we've got a guy that's 2 right there, and he won't have to come in from the sort of outside, which is pretty cool. Let's go ahead and get our farmer going too. I'm going to keep him pretty close to home. I'm going to keep him in this area right here. So let's go ahead and farm some wheat seed. We'll do a little 2x2 patch there. We'll go ahead and also farm some turnip seed right there in a little patch, and we'll also do some flax seed, which it's not letting me do. Select that again. I like to keep them separated a little bit. So there you go. He'll just keep doing that. One thing you can also do when you're farming is you can... Oh, here comes our guy to come back. Go ahead and right click that off. You can right click on these and basically tell it not to reseed, or you can remove farms. I have yet to ever do that, so there's that. Alright. So let's see here. We've got ourselves 4 pickaxes. We'll need plenty of hammers. So let's go ahead and build 5 of those. And our guy will use his handy anvil there to take that on for us. Let's go ahead and check in on everybody else. See, stone pickaxe is broken. He's using that pretty handy. And the harder they work, the slower they go because their fatigue goes up. And again, they will sleep. They eventually will sleep. But one thing I will do is, again, at some point... Ooh, look at him. He bagged himself a boar. So we got some animal hair and animal fat, which comes in handy because when you're building rope, I believe it uses animal hair. So we can actually build ourselves another piece of rope. But again, that requires a tailor. This guy right now is cranking out our cobblestone. So when he's done, I'll probably switch him over to being a tailor. I think he can make the rope by hand. Otherwise, you would have a pretty hard time starting off. Okay, so let's go ahead and click that off. We've gotten some copper ingots, which is pretty handy, but I prefer iron. So hopefully somewhere in this we'll find some iron. These guys are standing around now, so Abel, guess what? Oop, you're pretty close to being a level 4. Let's go ahead and let me... I know I'm going to be building with fieldstone. So let's go ahead and do... we don't have that much raw stone. Oh, he's still going. I was going to say... What else can you do, Thomas? You're pretty close to being a higher level. You're pretty much just a blacksmith or a forager. What have you built for us? Built 5 hammers. You're probably going to need to build us some more tools. And the higher the person gets with the tools, the better they are. So let's go ahead and build... Can we build 3 more? I don't know if this will run out or not. Seems like our guy up here is having a heyday trying to get this going. Wow, he's a level 2 miner, so that's not that great to start off. Go ahead and remove that stump there. And let's go ahead and remove... Oops. Go ahead and continue doing that. We'll chop that tree. It's really handy if you sort of, you know, if you've got a guy selected like this to click away from him and then right click on stuff, because a lot of times it'll make them move there. That's not what you necessarily want to do. So now it's afternoon. Those little songs you hear are transitional elements. I think they're a little loud, so again, every time I hit escape it like drags, which is really annoying. So I'm going to go ahead and keep turning the music down because I find it really loud and distracting in my headphones. And if you can hear my cat, he's, you know, whatever, he's in the other room being really annoying. So our farmer here, he's just chilling. And he's got a pretty high fatigue. So actually what I'm going to do is he's going to be an early riser. And so let's go ahead and build his sleep schedule. So I'm going to have him sleep evening, night, at midnight. That way when he gets up, he's going to be getting up at late night, dawn, early morning. So he's just going to just crank her out. And again, I've found that 3 is pretty good, sometimes 4, but you're really going to want to offset your jobs because the guys just don't do very well when they're just all passed out at the same time. Let's see here. Let me see if I can give you what a bed looks like. So furniture, you've got straw beds here. It requires a lot of wheat and cloth and wood logs. So again, you're not really doing yourself any favors by having furniture early on. You're just going to have to let the guys sleep where they sleep. Alright, so we're not doing great on logs, so I'm going to send this guy on a pretty good field day. Let's zoom out. And each one of these stumps is 1, I believe. So I'm going to send him over there first, and then I'm going to send him over here. And it looks like we could probably just start cutting down some of these trees and be fine with it. I like to keep trees around my area just because it looks nice. Trees will sort of reseed themselves and grow independently, which is pretty cool, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll go ahead and... When you switch over to the design menu, that's when the trees become red, which is... I think it's on purpose that way. Oh, who's our guy shooting? He's shooting somebody. Let's see. Our forager was taking... Oh, he's taking care of a sheep there. And again, you can domesticate those guys, but for now, I'm just killing them because I really need the resources. I could really use another guy. That's what I'm going for early on. I'd like to get 7 guys in there, if not 8. Again, one of those guys becomes a fisherman, and he'll sort of come over here and fish from this area. I think one thing I will do is I will probably... Where's my... Where's my house at? Yeah, so our fishermen will pretty much come out here and fish. And so one thing I will probably do is I will probably build a dock sort of in this area, although this sand is really much farther away than I want it to be, which is why it's important to have a fence and stuff early on. So we've got our hammers, our pickaxes. We need a hoe for our guy to, you know, work fairly decently. So I will build some hoes, probably just 2 for now. So we got a stone hoe, so we'll go ahead and just build 2 of those. Let's just go ahead and craft a copper ingot, because we've got one of those and we can build him a copper hoe, and that way he won't bother us for a long time after that. So he's coming over to the forge there, which I like to always rename Pigeon Forge. One of my favorite things to do because I think it's funny. And I'm a funny guy. One thing you will want to do is keep up on your fires, so as the day goes on, you'll want to right click and add a couple logs as the evening approaches. Otherwise it's really difficult to find these in the middle of the night. So what have we covered? We've covered roads and haul designation. So again, that's just your haul designation is purple. Your haul designation purple. Your roads are yellow, and people will come in. You want to make sure you have a trader. So you'll want to look at your guys' attributes here. It's one of the professions. So you've got trader. I've got that guy at 1. He's at 1. So I don't know if I actually have anybody that's going to be a decent trader. So they will be learning early on. Yeah, so you will. Ferdinand, are you a trader? Nope. How about you, Brand? Do you like trading stuff? Nope. And where's our forger? Christian, are you a trader? Nope. So somebody will be learning early on. And you don't need a building necessarily. They'll just come straight through. And you will want to keep this protected, but since this is so short and so close to my actual house, I'm not too worried about it. But at some point I'll probably install a light, probably in this area. That way it's sort of lit as they come in and through the map. As you can see there, the fire went out, but it is late afternoon, so we're doing okay. One thing I will do is I will want to try to right click on that at some point and fire it up. Otherwise, again, it is really hard to find at night. So let's see here. We've got 20 cobblestone, fieldstone. We could probably start adding, let's go ahead and add 20 of those and just see where that gets us. I like to do that, just an even number to kind of figure out where we are here. I know we will want to build a door, so let's go ahead and build a solid wood door. A carpenter can do that. So I like to build my doors right there. And right now we do not have a carpenter, which is a little annoying, but that's okay. We can always get one. You are a 1 carpenter, and let's see, you are a 1 carpenter as well. So let's go ahead and design, let's see, workshop, carpentry bench. We'll just put it opposite of this other bench. So that way this is a nice little workshop area since you're standing around, Thomas. Ooh, you're so close to being a level 4. Before we build that, let's go ahead and have you do some more tools. Can we build? We can build a ladder. You want to build a ladder, probably the first thing you do, just because your builder will use it. Let's go ahead and build some hunting knives, because our foragers can also use those to stabby things, like chickens and sheep and boars and whatnot, as you can see in the description there. And that might also get his level up a little bit higher. Let's see how much higher it goes every time he builds one of those. Yeah, pretty good. So yeah, I'm glad I did that, because essentially he will go up probably on the next one. Let's see, is he going up? Sorry, I had to put my, yep, he did. So now he's a level 4 blacksmith, but guess what? Bam, you're now a carpenter. Well, once you're done with that. How many more hunting knives do you have? to do. One more. Okay. So when you're done with that, oh, look at that. Point blank range. Go ahead and switch him out so he has a hunting knife instead. That way he'll just stab it rather than save. We'll save the arrows. So let's see here. Let's get back to action here. Change him to a carpenter. Immediately goes and tries to build the desk. Or the workstation there. This guy's standing around. He's our stonemason. He's a level 4 builder. How close to his he? Again, he's pretty close to a level 5, so since he's a stonemason, I know we will need more stone. So let's go ahead and build some more cobblestone. Let's go ahead and add 10 more to the queue. He'll crank those babies out for us. Let's see how that affects his level here. So you can see his sort of progress bar there, which is very cool for the units. And I'll put my mouse there so we can see how far. So yeah, it jumps up pretty decent. So he'll probably do about 3 more of those before he jumps up to level 5. And as soon as he jumps up to level 5, we'll start building, because we can always wait and cancel out those other ones. So yeah, there you go. We don't need that many cobblestone. I mean, we will eventually, but we don't need to right away. So yeah, timber and stone, man. There's a lot of really cool things that they've added recently to really enhance the game. You can also build diagonally. So essentially, you don't have to build something like this. You could actually build sort of crossways like that, and guys will walk across that diagonally as my game attempts to save itself as it hits dusk. We'll go ahead and... Oops. Yeah, see what I mean about clicking away from them and then right-clicking and adding 2 logs? See, and then he gets back to it. A lot of times you'll accidentally right-click in front of something rather than click on something. So you can build diagonally, which is pretty cool. Another thing you can do is the first siegecraft weapon, which is a ballista. You can essentially build it from the start if you've got enough rope. Rope is so important. I cannot express to you how important rope is. So when he's done with that, we'll go ahead and remove that from the queue. That way it gives us an even number. And make him our builder. So we now have a builder. No longer a stonemason. He's also just sort of standing around waiting for stuff to do. Go ahead and start building me some wood planks. Where are you at, bro? Wow. Hold on a second. Let me pause the game. Where is our wood chopper? Oh, he's still going. It's just taking his sweet time. Yeah, he's got plenty of trees here. Oh. This is always something I would prefer to do off camera, but it is important to remove the stumps because they are just as important. They do give you resources rather than just having a bunch of stumps laying around. That's what a lot of women would probably say about their husbands, right? Lazy stump. If I'm going too fast for you, I do apologize. I'm not the greatest at the game, but I am pretty efficient at an early start. I get a pretty decent run going. Let's go ahead and chop that tree down there too. Alright, let's go ahead and pause that. It wouldn't be uncommon for you to get 2 wood choppers at the same time. That's, wouldn't be the end of the world. So let's see here. So he built our door there. And let's see here. Click. And if you click and drag, essentially this is the area in which they will build, which for right now is being all wonky. So let me go ahead and turn it here. There we go. Sometimes the angle doesn't work. So this, if I did this, he would build a cobblestone or a fieldstone in every block. But I don't want him to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down Alt. And as you can see, it gets rid of the middle, which is pretty cool. And if you right click there, go ahead and hit pause right away, because sometimes you cannot predict if your guy is going to come over here and put these down. He will put them down. And I don't mean like he will, make them feel bad about their lives. You will want to, you know what, I built that door there. So to make this easier, normally I would do it here, but it's jumping around a little bit. Click, hold, drag, hold down Shift and Alt. When it turns yellow, that means it's going to get rid of those from the queue. So click there, and if you want that one back, which you will, Just double click and you're good to go. Otherwise, like I said, they will seriously build right across there. So he's going to go ahead and pound those out, make this a little bit more secure for everybody. What I'm going to do is I'm going to build a fire on... Oh, look at that. See? Went right to sleep. He is like, nope, I'm too tuckered out for this. Is he on a scheduled sleep? No, he's not. So he's just sleeping based on his fatigue level. And as you can see here, he is pretty tired. One of the things you can do is you can do fatigued or just exhausted, as well as winded. Exhausted is, I'm pretty sure, like all the way up here, fatigue. So if you just sort of have the guy over here, as you can see, it's taking a little while for it to go down. It does take its time. It does, so it is what it is. And this is just dusk, so probably in the middle of the night he'll wake up most likely and be like, hey everybody, what's going on? The game kind of stalled there for a second, so I'm wondering if we've got somebody coming in from the edge of the map here. We do not. Okay, that's perfectly fine. Structures, lighting, campfire. We can't do a lamppost yet because we don't have any iron ingots, but again, that also requires rope. So I'm telling you, rope is going to get you in trouble if you're not sort of on it right away. Try to keep these even. I don't think that's even at all. That's fine. We'll go ahead and click there, and most likely this guy will come over and build us that. Bran wishes to build or use an axe, but there are none available. That was one thing I probably overlooked. I did indeed. Let's go ahead and add a couple copper axes there. Our blacksmith is also our carpenter, and his level's not that high, so I'm going to go ahead and switch him back over to being our blacksmith, because it's really important for us to have trees right now. Yes, I know, Bran. They're pretty adamant, so until you get that axe built, you just might as well not even right-click on that, because they'll just keep reminding you of that. As you can see there, Christian just stabbed himself, sacrificed a boar for the cause. So yeah, this is about a 30-minute run into the whole thing, so cool. He built a copper axe, we can right-click that, and he's done. And as you can see, it does take him a long time to get these materials, and eventually this will become so dark that you won't be able to see him unless you have him selected, which is what this little yellow thing is for, and it's very handy. You can just sort of cycle through them. That's one of the sort of conversations we're having right now on the forums. I would personally like to see something designating a little campfire, whether it's a tiny little ember that you can see in the middle of the night, and if I let one of those fires go out, you'll see what I'm saying. But if you want to get sort of one of these guys, it selects them as you sort of cycle through, and I'm cycling through, again, Z or X, but it's normally the left or right brackets. His fatigue is getting kind of high right now, so what I'm going to do is I'm probably not going to do much on the building side of things. This miner is probably going to pass out pretty quick. I would not be surprised. Look at that. His fatigue is pretty high, but we've got him sleeping. Oh, we clicked on sleep schedule, but we didn't actually tell him when to sleep. One thing I'm gonna go ahead and just have him sleep during the night. And so when it hits night, he's going to sleep. But right now, he's pretty exhausted, so that's going to take a little while. So I'm going to go ahead and let him sleep pretty much a full night. So when this switches, he's just going to pass out right there, and I'm comfortable right now leaving him there. Raph, our farmer, passed out in his little field there, probably dreaming of farm equipment from the future. He is, he's on a scheduled sleep. So again, evening, night, and midnight. We did that on purpose. And so, yeah, sometimes when you're just here by yourself, sometimes you're just watching these guys sleep. So how exhausted is he? Fatigue, again, is going to play a really big factor. So he's pretty fatigued right now, but when it becomes night, he is going to fall fast asleep. And so we've got Christian gathering tons of berries right now for us, although that number needs to be really high for us to even get a new person coming into town, a new migrant. Tailor is another, I've mentioned that Tailor, basically crafting professions, is going to work with fibers and whatnot. Bran, how about you come, why don't you come home? Let's just go ahead and get you over here. That way I feel way more comfortable with you sleeping here. Yeah, so he's way up there. You may not even be able to see him. But essentially, they have a loom and shears, and they can build like cloths and armors and rope and stuff. So again, a tailor is going to be really, really important to the success of a town or city or even a village in your thing. Trader, again, they will basically work out a random number of goods with the trader, the other trader, I guess, the other person coming into town. So let's see here. Will he go to sleep? Is he going to take off as soon as I... Yep, so he's going to take off. So you know what? I'm just going to tell him to halt. And you can do that by clicking on this over here, and they'll just stand there. I don't know if they will sleep if you simply leave them there. So when this changes to whatever, night, he may or may not pass out because I've told him to halt. Herder, we'll get into that later, but it's something you can explore. You can go find animals and sort of get resources from them, but that's not somebody I like to get right away. And let's see here. You've got, again, cloth is something that you'll get from wool. And why not? Ooh, did I do that? Yes, I did. Sorry about that. And Christian is still going as well, but he's pretty fatigued. He's going to sleep at night, midnight, and late nights. And so that is something I'm going to do here is zoom out. Man, he's really far from home. Let's get him closer to home. It's going to take him forever. He may just pass out on the way home, which is totally fine. So come home, buddy. And it's important when you build beds, you can designate beds for guys. So basically when it becomes time for them to sleep, they'll come back home, sleep, and then go back out the next day. So there's really not much you can do while they're sleeping unless, like I said, you cycle through their sleep schedules. I've never been able to do that successfully to where it's just a well-oiled machine. But I at least have guys, you know, waiting around and doing stuff for me while I'm doing that. Thomas is pretty tired too, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to have him sleep, I think, sort of midday. Like he's going to go home and take naps for right now. So I don't know how well that's going to work. Or you could just have him sleep based on fatigue, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that for right now. You know, that's the thing. You want to, like, the guys that can work at night, you want them to sleep during the day, and the guys that can't necessarily work at night, like your wood choppers and your foragers who actually go out and sort of get themselves in danger because you've got spiders and skeletons and orcs and or whatever they're called running around. So that's something that you're going to want to be concerned about, is your sleep schedules and assigning beds to the guys that really need it, like your wood choppers and stuff like that. So let's see here. What else do we got? All right, I'm back. Sorry, something happened where I guess I used up all the memory, all the hard drive space on my computer to the point where the video just stopped recording. I'm not sure how that happened, but one bug that I have noticed in this build is that once guys sleep, they never actually lose fatigue. So their fatigue is not going down despite them sleeping, and I cannot actually wake them up now. So I guess this is a Hale Bopp or whatever that was. They're not wearing Nikes or anything, but they're all just asleep. I decided to tell them all to come and sleep here, and the only way to get them to wake up is to make them walk over here. And, you know, now he's awake, and, you know, you can kind of tell them to get back to work and whatnot. That's really the only way you can get these guys to wake back up, is to just sort of be like, hey, move. By the way, I can barely see this campfire right here where my mouse pointer is. Sometimes you can't see him at all, so it's kind of annoying. Okay, so he is all tuckered out. He might be one of the guys that I didn't tell. Yeah, I told him to sleep at all times, so they're just going to be working slower. So I do apologize for that. Let me switch over to something real quick. I'm going to play for a little bit longer. But yeah, that's a bug in the game that everyone is well aware of, and hopefully will be fixed by the next time I play another round for you guys. And hopefully I can use the same saved game, because otherwise that would be really, really annoying. So we've got our builder here. He's going at it, and he's building us our walls. And I'm using fieldstone for the bottom, then I will use cobblestone for the top. And now that we have... I built him a ladder, didn't I? Go ahead and put a ladder in his offhand. I could have sworn I built that though. Resources, crafting, tools, ladder. Add one to queue. There we go. I guess I didn't have a carpenter at the time. Did he run out of fieldstone? Yes, he did. Okay. That is perfectly fine. We will get Thomas, our carpenter, to switch back over to a stonemason. Or are you the stonemason, Abel? Wait, where'd you go? You are the stonemason, so go make your own stinking fieldstone. Let's see here. Double duty. Let's go ahead and build. How many more do we need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So let's just go ahead and build 10 more. And he'll go over there here in a second. Alright, you built us our ladder, Mr. Carpenter. Can you still build a lamppost? No. No, you can't. We need an iron ingot. Do we even have iron? Yes, we do. So let's go ahead and build one by adding it to the queue and switching you back to your blacksmith ways. I'd really like, with the fires the way they are, I'd really like a light here. Or maybe even closer to here. That way it's lit up so when our guys come in. And we're running desperately on food, so I mean it's real hit or miss, people. It is really hit or miss when you run into that. These people are going to be tired and hungry. And right now that's just the bug we're dealing with. But I did want to show you a few things, and I think I did educate you on the hauls and the sleep and stuff. The sleep was working in other test builds just fine, and so I'm not sure what exactly happened in the beta version for it to sort of go haywire the way it did. Can anybody build this lamppost? No, just a carpenter. But I'll go ahead and designate it. Let's go ahead and put it... let's put it there. And you're a stonemason, I believe, aren't you? Yes, you are. Who's the carpenter? I can't keep you two straight. I think you were working on being the carpenter, and you were being the builder. So now that we've got those going on, let's see here. You are now a builder again. So he should be going over there and finishing these up. And we'll see how much of a lighting difference that makes. I really like the lamppost. I wish they just didn't take as much resources as they do, but it is what it is. His progress bar is moving along pretty quick. What I normally do is I normally put a lamppost like on this side of the road, then on the other side of the road, then the other side, and I try to space them out equally. So there you go. Pretty well lit for someone to make their grand march down the path here. And you know what? He's going to become a farmer. He's going to learn the ways of the farm. Because we really need some food. And now that he's built all of these, let's go ahead and build cobblestone from here to here. Oops. And let's see here. There we go. So what, we had 28, so that'll tell us how many we need to do on each round, at least when the door is involved, and then obviously add 3 for each level. And this fire went out, so we'll right click on it and add some logs. Got to keep those farmers lit up. Let's see here. Oh yeah, you've still got plenty to dig there, Ferdinand. Plenty to dig. Let's check in with everybody else. Chopping wood. Let's see, go ahead and chop those stumps down while you're at it, my friend. So yeah, this is, like I said, a pretty good idea of what the new things that have been added. The one thing I didn't show you was the herder, and perhaps when we get some more food and stuff, we bring a guy in here. We'll do that for you. But again, food is really important. Rope is essential to basically moving forward in the game. And just sleeping, making sure those guys are well rested and ready to go, and that should hopefully be fixed soon. I can't imagine that there won't be a beta release that fixes that, as Robert is really fast about getting on that thing. So if you are enjoying the game, check it out online. timberandstonegame.com, I believe. Let me double check. Yes, timberandstonegame.com. Check that out. Check out the forums. Let them know what you think. I'm hanging out there, so you may see a post by me here and there. And also, if you're enjoying what you're seeing here on YouTube, like my videos, subscribe to my channels, and leave comments on these videos. I would really, really appreciate it. So this is JPT, and until next time here on Timber and Stone, I'll be seeing you.